owning an almost 50-year-old trawler sometimes presents its own self as some problems. And one of the problems boats like this have that have the wood railing around it is that over the years they become unstable, and the wood gets a little decayed. Teak usually doesn't, you don't really call it rot, but it does decay. And I'll show you some of the things that I've done and that other owners previous to me here on this boat have done. I'll start with this handrail right here. When we bought the boat, it was missing from here to here, and you do your best you can. I was real fortunate to find an original Grand Banks hinge. I was also real fortunate to make contact with a gentleman out in California that has a small foundry that does Grand Banks pieces. His name is Barry Luke, and thank you, Barry. But he had a replica latch that he was trying to unload. He has a little small foundry out there, but thanks to him I was able to get a replica and an original for this, so I'll restore this part of it. Then back a couple of weeks ago, right here in this corner, you can tell from the new wood right here, Sharon and I were at a city dock a little south of us down in Willatka, Florida. Had the boat tied up on the outside T-dock there. We got weight pretty hard, and as a result, I'll show you. As a result, this is the original wood that was there in the corner, and as a result it cracked. So I took this piece off. I took it home to my shop, and I thought, well, I'll try to do the best I can with it. And I was able to replicate the channel by measuring the depth and the width of it, and I got the profile pretty close. There again, I'm just trying to keep it safe and functional here for a boat this age. There's no restoration effort being done here. I'm just trying to keep it safe and operational. Let's walk around the boat, and I'll show you some things that have that progressed through the years of this boat. Like I said, it's almost 50 years old. Somewhere along the way, the boat was involved in a collision. And if you look back here, there is a fiberglass swim platform. What that is just sitting on top of the original one that's underneath it. And it got in a altercation back here in this back corner, and it busted up the back of the swim platform back there. And as well, it also busted the stanchion that used to be right here. And that's a main piece, and this stuff is made out of bronze, and bronze is an alloy metal. It's copper and tin and nickel and all sorts of different things mixed together to make a strong non-corrosive type metal. But you can't hardly find this type of extrusion anymore. So I did the best I could. I used aluminum there. That's an aluminum U-channel with a little small aluminum bracket on it. And Sharon's showing the opposite side right there. That's an original one, and you can't just find one off the port side of the boat and use it on the starboard. They are exclusive to the corners. So finding an almost 50-year-old part would have been almost impossible to do. So that's my effort to fix that. But in the course of the years of boat, there's been several different methods of trying to get these things steady again. One of the previous owners used this to hold it through the deck. That you can stump your toe on that real easy. Tell them how easy you can stump your toe, Sharon.
Yeah, and you don't just do it one time.
Yeah, you're right. You never get used to it. Some other people have they found one of these, which I think is probably the best way to do it. This is a stanchion they found somewhere, and it only has 2 bolts through the top, but it has 2 on the side here into the gunnel there that really does hold it real well. I'm looking for another one. I saw one. Here's maybe on the other side, but sometimes what they'll do is they'll just take this stanchion and move it a half inch or an inch forward and plug the holes back here. Now they have 4 fresh places to put screws in. They'll tighten it up a little bit better. Up here on the front bow, I mentioned, I think in one of the earlier videos, and if you'll go back to the video where we were doing our sea trial on the Halifax River, you'll notice there wasn't a bow rail on the boat. And there again, this boat has been in an accident somewhere along the way before me, and they ripped the bowsprit off of it. And the bowsprit and the railing were all gone. And I was really fortunate to find this. This is the original one. It's really off of 32-foot Grand Banks. But these 2 bolt holes and these here, these and there, they identically matched up. So it is a Grand Banks part. And in this previous crash, they had also broke the teak bowsprit. This has been replaced on the boat, but it's still functional and it's safe, and they put a huge winch on it. Evidently that was involved in a wreck too, but we're real glad to find that piece and make it look original again. But anyhow, those are some of the things, some of the hacks that I've come up with. I'll show you one other. Sharon, come right over here. This is one of them that I came up with. The wood was kind of real weak in here, and what I did is I cut off a piece of aluminum extrusion here. This is a 1.5 by 1/4, and I cut it to length right here, and I traced the footprint of the stanchion. I drilled it and I tapped it, so the stanchion is bolted into the aluminum plate, and the aluminum plate is bolted into the boat. So that worked out pretty good too. It's real good and steady now, and there again, it keeps it safe, and we're trying to just do the best we can keeping this old boat moving. Another repair I've made this year to the MV Grand Plan has been to replace the damper plate on the starboard engine. It gave way on Sharon and I as we were coming back from an outing. Come loose. That transmission weighs between 200 and 300 pounds, and if it had fallen, it'd been a catastrophic event. Well, we've worked all day, and this is what we've come up with. I suspected that the diagnosis was a busted damper plate, and that's what it's turned out to be. This part and this part, and I'll remove this bell housing. You'll see this big part right here. Those are all the parts of the damper plate that came apart, and that's why we don't have any propulsion on this side of the boat. So get this part off, take these 3 parts, research the numbers on it, get it ordered, get it back, put it all back together, and we're on the river again. That repair was completed in February of this year, and since then Sharon and I have truly enjoyed the MV Grand Plan on the St. Johns River. In the next video, I'll be showing you how I repaired the overhead headliner in the aft cabin, and we'll give you a tour of the Palatka waterfront. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next episode.